What's going on, people? Just wanted to let you know the last 20 minutes of the podcast, the camera actually died. I don't know what happened, but the audio remains. Either way, it doesn't matter because it's still a banging ass podcast. So, with that said, enjoy. Yes. What is good, my people? Man, it feels good to be back. What's good, people? TaurusBeats back with you, and welcome to the kickoff for the 2016 weekly homework assignment. As always, I'm your host, TaurusBeats, representing ComputerMusicAcademy.com. And we are here for the third year to honor the legendary J Dilla. Man, first off, how the hell is everybody doing? It has been such a long time since I've sat in front of this mic, in front of this camera, in this format right here, and I feel damn good. Hopefully everybody's well. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Whew. All right. Shout out to my man, CX, the producer, for contributing that intro. Enjoy. When you listen to it, it kind of sounds like Players a little bit. Make sure you go back and listen to it again when you know, at another time. But man, that intro is dope. So shout out to my man CX, the producer, for that particular intro. So what are we doing? Well, for those of you who have no idea what the hell this is, first of all, welcome. Over at ComputerMusicAcademy.com, we do this thing called the weekly homework assignment. It's where I give you an assignment to cover a specific genre or make a certain type of beat, only using this particular tool, or restricted to down to a certain thing that only you can use. And you have 7 days to return a finished product. Now, as we have kicked off the year for the last, well, this would be the third year, we always honor the great J Dilla, because in many people's hearts and minds, he's one of the best, if not the best, to ever do it, be it on an MPC or whatever else, because I have knowledge that he's apparently used like SP1200 as well. But we all know him for that MPC 3000, and man, whew. Anyhow, this is what we're doing, is kicking off the 2016 season for the weekly homework assignment. And man, I have 11 entries for you today. And with this tribute, everyone is either recreating a J Dilla track, making a Dilla-esque type track, or just doing something that they would think that Mr. Yancey would approve of. And we have 11 of those from mostly Computer Music Academy members and a couple of outsiders that I reached out to. I reached out to a few people, and only a couple were able to get back with time constraints, and it's all good. This is going to be one hell of a show, so let me stop talking and get into it. Kicking things off with a man that has been gone for a while. He has recently had a child. That child actually just turned 1 yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, so happy birthday to him. And shout out to this gentleman who is back with us now, my man, 18th Dynasty. Let's go. The man, 18th Dynasty, returning and kicking off episode 114 of the weekly homework assignment / podcast. Dude, yes, it feels good to hear that dude again. He took off, like I said, he had to take care of some personal business and whatnot. Came back middle of last week, right before this assignment was due. He came back and he said in his submission that that he only had a couple of days to rock with it. He was digging for samples and everything. And like I said, his child's birthday was yesterday. He's like, yeah, I'm digging for samples and putting the song together like during the party. During the celebration for his child. This dude is here knocking out a Dilla track. That's the level of dedication I will always appreciate. My man, Dynasty, that track was dope. It was dope. And you know what? Keeping it in true 18th Dynasty fashion is just over a minute. But it banged. Dynasty, my man, glad to have you back, dude. Thank you. And now, coming to one of our newer members who just joined over the last couple of weeks, representing Inland Empire, California, my man, Gemini 4D. Let's go.
Put your hands together for the one and only J Dilla.
Man, Dilla has been the foundation, not just for Detroit hip-hop, but hip-hop as a whole. I hear a lot of cats saying that, you know what I'm saying, they won't be doing hip-hop with Dilla and all that shit, but for me, it got a special thing.
Rest in peace. 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 Rest in peace.
Making his CMA and WHA debut, Gemini 4D. Oh my, that was nice. See, when newer members come in, I don't know what to expect of them. And I'm going to judge accordingly. You know, if it's, you know, somebody tells me straight up, I've only been making beats for 6 months or something like that. Okay, cool. I'm going to expect to hear something of that skill level within that time. But I don't have any reference for Gemini. But he comes in, he sends his submission, and the note in his submission was like, not mixed, just rough. Hey, but you know what? Sounds damn good to me. I liked everything about that track. He had some nice change-ups. The drums were swinging and knocking. I love the main sample. That might be like, some clarinets and flutes along with some strings, what it sounded like. The way he chopped it, man. The intro, the DJ Premier sample, I mean, all of that. Full package, dope. Very dope. So going back to that whole expectations thing, now the expectations are very high, bro. You can't go back down here. You got to keep bringing that heat. But yo, Gemini, thank you, my man. Thanks for joining. Thanks for participating. Great submission, my man. Thank you. And now to one of my people who aren't actually a member of CMA, who isn't a member of CMA, but I wanted to reach out to him and showcase him. I've known him for some years now. Like at this point, over a decade, well over a decade. And dude is really dope. We've talked a lot. We spent a lot of time together, like in the rap scene in Detroit. He's one of the dopest producers, in my opinion, coming out of Detroit. And I reached out to him and said, would you be willing to do something? He's like, hell yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, making his debut on the Computer Music Academy weekly homework assignment, my man, Marc Byrd.
And it's Marc Byrd. I got one thing to say.
Zap your dumb ass.
Street Harmony Production.
Ladies and gentlemen, Marc Byrd doing his thing for week 114, the J Dilla Tribute. Oh my. I've always known Byrd was dope, but damn, that was noise. Very, very, very nice, man. I liked everything about that. I especially liked that that kind of stutter, filter, not phasing, but you want to say modulating kind of effect, man. Yeah, that's sick. Drums on point. The whole mix sounds very damn good, man. I mean, the one thing I do like about this track and a lot of the stuff that I've heard from Byrd is it's very well mixed, but it still sounds dirty, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I know dude has gone through and done a nice little EQ and compression and all the dynamics, blah, blah, blah. But it still sounds dirty enough. And I really, really, really love that about his music and a lot of other people's music when they're able to pull that off. Shout out to my man Marc Byrd for that submission, man. And maybe, just maybe, you'll get a chance to hear more of him. But look him up on social media. Dude is dope, for real. Thank you, Byrd. All right, moving on to one of our veteran members who has been here since the beginning, since year one. going on 4 years of service, so to speak. Representing Sacramento, California, my dude, Ray-Dee, 3000. Let's go. Ray-Dee, 3000. Holy crap, dude. The first thing I have to say, that damn snare, yo. I mean, Ray being from the West Coast, he definitely has that West Coast bounce, man. Oh my God. That it's always been there, but I would say it was more defined like in, the mid to late 90s, the G-Funk era and that kind of stuff, where it was just more pronounced and defined. And this dude just, he encapsulates that every time he turns into submission. Holy crap, dude. That joint was dope. Now, he said, and I feel it, he said he was trying to capture the same feel as EMC Square by Giorgio Moroder. Moroder. God dang it, I can't read. And I feel that. But man, just as an original track on its own, undeniable, dude. That joint has so much bounce, that snare, the sounds used. Oh my God, dude. That is a very, very sick track. And Ray-Dee is one of those dudes that he doesn't come around often. I know last year he had a lot of things he was dealing with. He wasn't able to participate as much as he wanted to. But when he does come through, man, does he come through. Holy crap. Ray-Dee, hats off, my brother. Thank you. All right, moving on to another one of my people who I invited to participate because I really appreciate what he does. This is a cat that I have admired for a while, and I've just recently, within the last couple of months, got a chance to know him and kick it with him. And I was like, dude, please submit something. He was like, of course, no problem. So shout out to my man, CX, the producer, who also gave us the intro. But now, let's check out his submission.
Slum was the reason I'm even here. I shop Slum to tip. That's how I actually got on.
Jeez, OP, dude. Holy crap. I honestly don't know what to say. This joint is... Whew. My man, CX, the producer. Holy crap, dog. Again, as soon as that joint hit, the drums, yo. The kick was dope. Snare, nasty. Clap, excuse me. Clap, freaking incredible, dude. The bounce and swing on that joint. And then what he used as far as the instruments and the different sample drops and whatnot. The drum drops and mutes and stuff. Holy crap, man. Now you see why I invited this dude to come rock with us on this one. Woo, Lord. That was nasty. CX, you are the man. Holy crap. Thank you, sir. That was nasty. And you can look him up as well on the net. CX, the producer. Please do. Give that man some business. Woo, Lord. All right. I got to turn my fan on up in here. All right. Moving on. Guess what? We're still only halfway through the show. We still got a lot more heat on the way. Moving on is a man I highly respect. I've gotten to know over the last year and some. He's one of my favorite people, one of my favorite producers over at CMA, and I'm glad he contributed again this year because he barely made it last year. But we got him in. I went on ahead and I stopped the export. I put him in, and it worked out perfectly. So he actually got in on time this year, and shout out to my man from Detroit, MICnotes. Let's go.
You don't want to change it now. Rearrange your style. Should have never been allowed to get all your fake answers out. We shut it down at the enemy. LA, make some noise if you're feeling me.
Double negative. gotta make music and we think like if Dilla was alive and he liked it. I have to work on behalf of Dilla. I have to work on behalf of Dilla. On behalf of Dilla.
Double negative.
Yes, yes. MICnotes doing his thing for week 114 of the weekly homework assignment / podcast. The J Dilla Tribute. Man. Man. Using that very famous sample from J-Lib. Which that's Gato. Oh, God. I can't remember the last name, but I know the actual record because the cover of that particular record is Gato's face, but it's within a tree. It's one of those type of pictures. And I will never forget how that album looks. Because being from Detroit and seeing tributes over the years, even when dude was still alive, I would be in clubs and see certain people playing that joint. And I would see the cover up there just like, that's ill. And that's the same sample, which I think Madlib produced that, but Dilla rapped over it. I think that's how it went for that J-Lib track. But that's the same record that right after that, dun, 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 it has this part where it goes, dun, 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 doo, 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 doo. Then it kind of fades out. Then it goes to bloom, 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 bloom. Oh my God. You know what that is. Anyhow, Notes comes through and chops that joint. Man, Notes, I know what Notes is working with. And trust me, it's not a lot. And the way this dude creates his songs and what he comes out with, insane. Pretty much every time, 98, 99% of the time, this dude is just banging. Dog, very, very nice submission. Thank you for participating and being a member, my man. All right, moving on to one of the legends. A dude whose track record is undeniable. And at this point, as long as he stays at CMA, probably unbeatable. This is a man to date that has only missed out of the around 2.5 years he's been with us, has only missed maybe 3 assignments, maybe 4. Yeah. And we go hard. We go like 9 months throughout the year. So shout out to my man representing, if I'm not mistaken, Charleston, South Carolina, DJ Lockturnal. Let's go. Lord. DJ Lockturnal checking in for the first time in 2016. Yeesh. Dog. So he said that he wanted to, or he did, chop a sample and make it seem like it was an actual loop, like it was played that way. Very nicely done, sir. That's the type of stuff I like to do when I'm chopping. I like that. I like the samples and the sounds that he used with that muted trumpet. That was dope in itself. But the way he replayed it on top of everything else, and he had like some guitar, seemed like some guitar plucks in there and whatnot. That sounded real dope. The one thing that really threw me off, I wasn't expecting it, was that synth swell. Oh man, that was dope. Randomly placed, in certain spots. It didn't always hit. Man, that was dope. Entirely as a full submission, this dude brings it once again. He has yet to fail us. And as I will continue to say, I don't want him to. Don't ever fail. Continue to bring the heat, my man. Man, thank you for kicking off the year with us. Woo! All right. So, I've been doing these podcast hangouts, however you say, with my man Gadget, aka Digital Hustler, from Scratch Magazine TV, Backpack Theory, blah, blah, blah. I've been doing those for the last month, co-hosting with him every Friday night at 9 o'clock. Look him up. And I've met and gotten a little closer to this next gentleman. I really admire everything about his music and his personality, because he is one of the coolest cats I've ever had a chance to kick it with. And he's actually inspired me to get up and do some things. And I was just like, dude, I want you to contribute if possible. Not only did he contribute, he is officially a member of the CMA family. So, representing Memphis, Tennessee, my dude, Diggahertz. representing what many would say is the Music City. Of course, I'm going to debate that because I'm from Motown. My man, Diggahertz, who I have said on occasion, I'm just start calling you Dillahertz. This dude uses a variety of machines. He has the 2000 XL. I think he also has a 2000. He also has the MPC Renaissance. He also has the ASR X box, the black box. I want to say there's one or two others I'm missing, but more notably, he owns the 3000. And I'm very sure that's what this came out of. Listen to how full and warm and crispy that joint sounds. And then the sounds he actually uses, the swing, the way he chops and replays things. Man, what the hell? Diggahertz, my man, thank you for coming true. Thank you for coming through. And also being a member, my man. I definitely look forward to more submissions from you this year. I can't talk. Not to mention, my voice is somewhat going as well, but it's all good. But yo, Diggahertz, my man, thank you. Oh boy. Now we get down to serious business. Coming back to the veterans, the heavy hitters of CMA. Representing Detroit, my dude, back in the lineup, back in the fold, and always bringing heat, my man, Mr. Wallace.
Look at Wallace play.
WrestleMania at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. It's a day that I'm certain my guest at this time will not forget.
Nothing means nothing.
Nothing means nothing. What do you mean by that?
I'm talking about all the way to the top, yeah. Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in. But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Double negative. it's a whole different thing. I get the love for what I do in that basement. You know what I'm saying? It's like appreciated, so I can go back and do more shit.
Man. Mr. Wallace. Whew, Lord. One of the best to do it. Jeez, Pete, dog. And that's more evidence of why. Oh, my God, dude. You talk about people who are consistently on their game, who are consistently just bringing heaters, head nodders, boppers, however you want to say it. Stuff that really just, even though it's sample-based, it's still, you feel it. He is one of the best I have ever seen, dude. Freaking incredible. I mean, I put him up there with Dilla himself. Wallace is nasty. And he will continue to be nasty for the rest of this season and so on, as long as he continues to work, and he will. Trust me. This dude will never stop. Dog, I've said it before that certain people, they know I do the podcast like this. And, I'm back on camera this year. But they know that I'm on camera, and they know that I wild out to certain things. So they do certain things in their music to see me react. Wallace is one of those dudes. First off, with the Mean Gene and the Randy Macho Man Savage sample, talking about WrestleMania 3 that was up in Pontiac. First off, I am a huge wrestling fan, and I'm an equal Randy Macho Man Savage fan. And then WrestleMania 3, which was close to home, all of that stuff plays. But then he took one of my favorite, what they call promos from Macho Man. The cream rises to the top, Gene. That was dope. The name of the track is called Cream. That was incredible as an intro. The sample, oh my God, whatever that was, he used. Come on, man. Are you serious? Then the change-ups throughout. I'm a huge person for change-ups. I can't stand a static beat for 2 minutes. I can't stand a static beat for 1 minute. It has to have some type of change-ups in there. Some mutes, some variations, different sequences, whatever. This dude had to have like 4 different change-ups, and that's a signature of Wallace. One in particular, I think it was at around the 155 or something like that, where he had the Andre 3000 sample. Dumb. Just absolutely nuts. I'm done talking about you, Wallace. Excellent submission, my man. Holy crap. Thank you. Coming to another gentleman I highly respect. He's been with us just over a year now. He's back with us. He has done nothing. He has brought nothing but heat within the last year and surprised and gained respect from everybody at CMA. So it's good and great to have him in this particular podcast. Again, my man, Sho-Nuff. respected, very humble, very musical Sho-Nuff. Man, this dude, every time. And shout out because I recognize those sounds. I can't pinpoint exactly where they're from at the moment, but it's definitely one of the packs that I've reviewed, one of the instruments that I've reviewed. But man, as normal, this dude brings the heat. Sho is very instrumental. He does do some sampling, but he plays out the majority of the stuff that he sends in to us. And he's great at it. He's absolutely incredible at it. Have nothing but respect for him. This track right here is no exception, dude. Again, as I've said a couple of times, it's a little tamer than the average Sho track, but it's still on point. Hits hard, mixed well, sounds good, feels good. Sho is my man. Seriously. And I'm glad he's back with us. He's back in the podcast. And this is going to be a damn good year. If that's any indication, this is going to be a damn good year. Whew, Lord. Thank you, Sho. And now, moving on to the finale with a gentleman we all highly respect at CMA. He's been there almost from the beginning. He came through at the end of year 1 and killed it through year 2, killed it through year 3, and now he's back for year 4. And I'm afraid for anybody that wants to step up against this man. So closing out the Weekly Homework Podcast 114, the J Dilla Tribute, is my man, TaurusBeats. The man, the legend, TaurusBeats, closing out week number 114 of the weekly homework assignment / podcast, the J Dilla Tribute. And the reason why we do this is because we want to honor the man, the legend, the legacy, the catalog, the person that was James DeWitt Yancey. One of the best to ever do it, if not the best to ever do it. Highly respected throughout the universe. Because trust me, I bet you somebody is on Pluto banging Dilla beats. But I have to give major respect and props to Mr. Yancey, who, for anybody that knows me, you know I have a history of when I was a rapper. You know, I did a decent amount of national stuff, but I hail from Detroit. I did plenty of shows in Detroit and throughout Michigan and out the Midwest. And I've met plenty of artists because I promoted Michigan hip hop as well. J Dilla is the one and only person that I have not met. I've met Motsy Ski of Detroit's Most Wanted. I've met Smiley. I've met Awesome Dre, Chaos and Maestro. Of course, all of the newer cats, your Eminem, your Royce, your Trick, all of these cats. I know all of these cats. I have met them, shook hands, and showed my gratitude. J Dilla is the one person, as well as out of slum, but he is the one person in Michigan hip hop I never had a chance to meet. And I am so hurt by that I wish I could have just shook his hand one time and said, thank you for what you do, even while he was still alive. So this is what I do. I pull my people together every year and we honor the man that is James DeWitt Yancey and his legacy as J Dilla or JD. Thank you, sir. And thank you for everything that you have done for us, for the inspiration, for the music, and just for your short time on this earth. Thank you. Shout out to my man TaurusBeats, Sho-Nuff, Mr. Wallace, Diggahertz, DJ Lockturnal, MICnotes, CX the Producer, Ray-Dee 3000, Marc Byrd, Gemini 4D, and 18th Dynasty. And also thank you, the watcher, the listener, for being with us on this particular occasion, and hopefully you will rock with us throughout the rest of 2016. Now, this particular program won't go into regular rotation until the beginning of April, because now we're getting ready to do our beat battle called the Bang Show for the next 4 weeks. And then we're going to restart this. So my advice to you is, if you enjoyed what you saw here, like us on Facebook, like us on YouTube, share us on G+, and on Twitter, and even Instagram, and all that kind of stuff. Stick with us. Watch what we're doing. Share what we're doing. Help us grow. Help get the word out, because the whole point of Computer Music Academy is to make better music. And if these 11 entries are any indication, we're on our way. Trust me. If you would like to be a part of what we do, come on over to computermusicacademy.com and join us. It's that simple. I'm done for the week. My name is Tasha Rasay, and I will talk to you next time. See ya!